I thought I was tall.
Bro, this is like a watercolor pen.
No, it's a pen, but it's a brush tip pen. So just yeah, there you go. Katie, the cutie.
That's all one word.
Alright. Yeah, DM her and then you can just get mine that way.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks. Action?
Yep.
Okay. My name is Katie and I'm a photographer from the Bay Area. I started taking photos when I was pretty young. I guess around middle school I got a little digital point and shoot for Christmas. I think it was my 14th birthday. I got a DSLR. I think it was a Rebel T3i. And my neighbor taught me all the shutter speed and all the settings and stuff like that. Throughout high school, I like kind of played around with it, not taking it that seriously. And then for the end of high school, I just started shooting a lot more. I met a lot of people in San Francisco and the Bay Area that were really into photography, and we just kind of created a little crew of people that would just walk around and shoot, show each other stuff and like ideas and bounce things off of each other. Soon after that, I think it was 2014, end of 2014 maybe, I was introduced to the darkroom and film, black and white film primarily. My friend Daniel taught me how to develop in the darkroom, print, all of that. Introduced me to all the legends like Vivian Maier, Henry Cartier-Bresson, Elliot Erwitt, the list goes on. Since then, I've just been shooting film, and mostly black and white, a little bit of color. I like 35mm and 120. I've shot some large format, not really my thing, but yeah, I love mostly black and white. My guy. I can't talk, that shit's hard. You got this! I don't know how people skate this shit with like a big ass crowd watching. I don't work well under pressure like that. Like my roommate Steven, he would work really well, or he would skate really well under pressure. Like if a cop showed up or something. You got it, you got it. Oh!
Hey, you got
That was pretty good. I think I got the shot. Oh, I mostly do documentary and street style. Yeah, I'd describe it mostly documentary and some portraiture. I also like to shoot skateboarding, even though I'm not very good. But I love the combination of like street, portrait, and kind of like city landscape combination, which is cool and was just something new for me, especially during the beginning of the pandemic when lockdown happened, and my roommate was really good at skating, so we were just kind of stuck together for a couple months, and I got some good work out of that. Yes. I know. Oh my god. I've seen that stuffed dog before. My process isn't too planned out, I would say. Like I don't think of a concept and then tell myself, okay, now let's start this project or this concept. I just shoot, like just always have a camera on me, whether it's like my Leica, or I always keep my point and shoot in my bag and some rolls of film on me, just in case I'm driving or even out at a bar or something. God, look at this
like
dude.
6 months worth of film on that Maritzu, and it was like 30 rolls. It was like beautiful.
Damn. Cool. And he's off. Dude, I miss like all this action. Or I feel like I haven't really been around it.
Where have you been? What have you been up to?
Or just like shooting like this. Like I haven't really done that in a while.
Dude, tell me about it. I haven't like. And it's like, I don't know, dude, there's not many places in LA that are like great for street.
That's low-key what I'm worried about.
Dude, it's something I've been pondering a lot. I've been like...
But there's one shot that I got in LA like when I was visiting, and I was driving and I saw it, and I literally pulled into the gas station, like ran out and got it. And it, like, I'm happy with how it came out. It's the one of the kid in the back of the back of like the food truck or whatever, and he's like sitting, I don't know if you saw that one.
I'm sure I clocked it.
Yeah.
Like,
you mean you don't remember every single post that I share? I tend to let my rolls sit for a little bit and kind of like marinate, and or marinate. Marinade? Run it back. I tend to let my roles, the roles that I've shot, I let them sit and marinate for a little bit. I've gotten better because I used to let them sit for quite some time, but I like to give myself some space from them before I process and scan them to kind of come at it with a little less bias, because I tend to maybe attach myself to certain images because I know like the story and how that photo happened, and maybe I get more attached to the story of the photo rather than the actual photo and its composition and whether or not it's genuinely good. And I'm also quick to detach from photos too. If there's like a light leak or there's something in the frame that I don't want, I don't even consider it. I just chop it out or come back to it in a couple years. If I notice some sort of pattern or like a reoccurring theme, or I'll kind of make folders for them or just categorize them and maybe slowly just add photos to that folder and create a project out of it. But a lot of my photos I feel like can kind of stand alone, or that's the goal at least, which is pretty hard. I've hit some bumps where I don't feel like shooting for a while, like I've gone months without shooting, and I just kind of accept it for what that is. I try not to be too hard on myself about it, just because I know it's part of the process, and I feel like everyone's kind of pressured to like constantly be shooting or creating and sharing, and shooting, creating more, sharing, just like this constant cycle, and it's supposed to be amazing every single time, and for me I don't feel like that's not natural, or that's just happened recently because of social media and how social media has literally created a monster in photography. With social media, like I can't fully talk because my journey, the beginning of my journey with film photography specifically, I guess kind of happened alongside with my growth of social media, or growth on social media, and because so many connections that I made here in the city, in the Bay, being able to kind of have that common space where you stay connected with these people and you get inspired by what they're doing, and being able to organize photo walks or meetups or galleries, events, whatever. Social media has been helpful in that sense. Yeah, I've asked myself this before, like why do I shoot film? Like genuinely, why do I shoot it? And I suppose it's a mindset over anything. Like when you're shooting film, you have no choice. Like you can't look at the photos. It kind of helps me detach from those photos in a way and just like keep it pushing, keep shooting. With street photography, I feel like you can be a bit more loose with it. Like you're just shooting, pushing, keep it moving, and it's okay to kind of have like those mistakes or the imperfections in the final images. Whereas with portraiture, like for me personally, I feel like I'm way more nitpicky on them because you have that time, at least in like a controlled environment, you have that time and space to make sure that everything in the frame is how you want it to be. And just the process of it, like getting your negatives back, or like developing your own negatives and scanning, getting the scans back, I guess it's a little boost of serotonin too. It's a little bit of adrenaline. To me, I just feel like I don't have a choice but to shoot film. I don't know why, maybe I just make myself experience that or go through that. But I do see myself turning to digital at some point, mostly because film is not that sustainable. Like it's not that eco-friendly, it's not that helpful to Mama Earth. So I feel like there's a lot with film that digital can never really mimic, at least aesthetically. And there's something about like having like a tangible object. Like those negatives are so precious. Like I have them very organized. I'm very particular about how I organize my negatives, how I label them and separate them by year or like color versus black and white. And I like having like that tangible object that I can always reference back to, or if I need to rescan it or reuse it for another project, like I like having that physical archive rather than solely relying on a hard drive. I've hit a lot of bumps in the past, especially when I went to school. I got a degree in photography, And when you're doing it for assignments, it's not always the most inspiring or motivating, but at the same time, I've definitely gotten some good work out of that. I've gone months without shooting or really looking at my work or thinking about it. I just disconnected from it, and I can definitely feel my happiness go down in terms of that without even recognizing it. And then once I do make that conscious decision to pick up my camera and shoot and choose to be inspired when I'm out, which is kind of hard to do sometimes, then I am reminded of like, damn, I love this shit. In terms of photography, your creative work, and the way you approach all of that, if you're just genuine and authentic, then it's inevitable that you will create good work that you're proud of, and you will attract people who also appreciate and are proud of that work. And something that has been on my mind recently, or I've been reminding myself, is that what you seek is seeking you in all aspects of life. And if you remain genuine and authentic within your photography, your creative work, all of that, then it will find you. Does that make sense? Yeah. I'm trying to like cohesively